Well, hello again, my freedom outlaws. Uh, there's a lot going on. A lot going on up here. Uh, in my previous video, I was talking about if I were the president. Of course, that sounds like a pipe dream, a real far-fetched fantasy. But if I were the president, you know another thing I would do. Well, let me put it this way: I would not engage foolishness and stupidity. You know, President Trump. I think he just pretty much says what comes to his mind, and that's his personality. What can I say? Plus, after all he went through for the first 4 years of his presidency, and then what he went through in the 4 years that Biden was president, I mean, they tried to bury that guy. They wanted him behind bars. They want him dead. It's against the law to threaten the president, but I guarantee you, behind closed doors, they expressed how they wanted him dead. So they thought, well, we'll go to plan B and see if we can put him in prison. Well, it didn't work. It didn't work. So, I try to put myself in his shoes, and there's a lot of frustration built up there, a lot of anger, a lot of vengeance. So, even though I don't agree with everything he says, sometimes it's just plain stupid. But he's venting. I don't know if a group of people could ever hate somebody as much as they hate him. It's sad. It's sad. Here in America, this is sad. But I wouldn't respond to the news media the way I do, the way he does. I would just tell the truth. I wouldn't respond to people the way he does. Everything that I would do during my presidency would magnify and focus on we the people of the United States and our foundation and our filter that we would base every decision on would be the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and of course the Bill of Rights. There's six, I think. Let me see. There was a guy, I think his last name was Kipling or something like that. And then there was another guy, Patrick Lencioni. Anyway, they use a framework of 6 questions. And this framework of 6 questions the purpose of using that was for personal growth, building a strong teamwork, and just all kinds of things that were positive. For accountability, very positive things. And so I got to thinking about that, and when the news media put out something that was just totally off the wall, when people would comment about something, about just some stupid something, I wouldn't even give credence to that. I wouldn't give them the time of day, because when you do that, you're actually stooping down to their level. I like one meme that I read. I don't know if I'll get it exact, but the gist of it was, before you can offend me, I first must value your opinion. Something like that. I don't know. I like it anyway. So anyway, these 6 questions: who, what, when, where, how, why. Every decision that would be made in my administration as President of the United States would be funneled through and filtered through that framework. And of course, the foundation of that framework would be the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, of course, which includes the Bill of Rights. When a situation come up, when an issue would come up, instead of just saying something off the cuff, because everything you say and do is going to be documented and recorded, instead of doing that and putting yourself out there in the crosshairs, you remain calm, and before you put anything out to the public, you run it through those 6 questions: who, what, when, where, how, why. And always remember that the foundation, the solution, the answer to those questions have to always reflect the foundation, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Always. Because my whole focus and agenda, my vision, is to bring in the focus we the people of the United States. And the emphasis would be their unalienable rights endowed by their Creator, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so every question would have to be answered that would enhance those inalienable rights. I mean, to me, it's simple. Any question that would come up about something that needs to be done overseas, with our allies, or foreign policies. I don't even like to use that word, foreign policy. What? If it's foreign, that means you don't know what it is. If something's foreign to you, you don't know what it is. I don't like to use that, foreign policy. In fact, let me just ramble here for a minute. There's a lot of words that they use that it just gets under my epidermis, my skin. Foreign policy, bipartisan. Oh my God. And of course, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the Tea Party, the Independent Party, the Libertarian Party. And people forgot that we're Americans. We the people of the United States of America. So I certainly wouldn't fuel the fire and fuel their stupidity and foolishness. I wouldn't fuel their attacks. I remain focused. And like I said, some of those words I can't stand. What's some of the other ones? Oh my goodness. Across the aisle. Across the aisle. What is that? What does that mean? Conservative, radical right, radical left, liberals, progressives. What does all of that garbage mean? What does that have to do with the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution? What does that have to do with our Bill of Rights? Those unalienable rights. What does all those words have to do? Woke. Woke for what? I need to go back to sleep. I can't tolerate the jargon, the language. Oh my goodness. So like I said, even dealing with our allies or policies relative to how we deal with other nations, it would have to be filtered through that framework. Who, what, when, where, how, why. And in the interest of we the people. And hopefully, we could influence other nations to realize that they can exercise those same rights because the same creator that created us created them. And those unalienable rights can be accessed by them if they understood it and believed it. Are you following me here? Is my rambling confusing you? When it says all men are created equal, that's not just relative to us in the United States of America. All men are created equal. The same way that we come forth in our birth and our creation, it takes place the same way all over the world. There's nothing different. The Creator creates people from China the same way He creates us from America. The natural rights endowed by the Creator is not just for us as Americans, it's for everybody. If you believe in a Creator. If you don't, well, then you gotta put your faith and trust and will your mind over to tyrants, dictators. It's just the way it works. Another expression I can't stand, and I realize why they say it, and I don't know if I could come up with anything better, but, well, we have the receipts. Okay. We have the receipts. All right. I don't know. Like I said, those words just irritate my epidermis. So, that's just some more ramblings from the man cave, from the Freedom Outlaw, and I'll catch you later.